When I was young, I learned that I have to be with my family. I have to be at home so that I can contain and heal myself from this disease. I also want to say that I hope that this pandemic will end shortly. We may not leave the way we came in, but I'm sure it will end. Another point I want to tell you about is the war. Here in the province, we are living a quite difficult situation with this terrorism, for which there is no justification, and we do not know either when or how it will end. But I, being young, from what I have already suffered and lived in the past, can tell you that with the grace of God and His strength, I am sure that everything will end. We must trust in God, who does not abandon us.
This has been a difficult time for me, for everyone in my country, because of the political, social, economic, cultural reality that we are living and for which I ask your prayers. It is a very difficult circumstance for youth to dream, to develop, to grow. When I had the opportunity to read and write a letter to the Rector Major during his visit to Venezuela in February 2020, I told him, on behalf of all the young people of Venezuela, that it is our youthful spirituality that encourages us to continue walking, to keep fighting, to keep betting on great ideals, even in the midst of all this madness that we are living. The Lord is our center, our guide, our love, and our hope.
Too often, positive things don't get the recognition that they deserve. And as a student at LaSalle, I was able to really get creative and inspired to start something that would potentially help people change their mindset and see things in a more positive, happy light. I started by simply just designing a sweatshirt with the words "See the Good" on it, and then I realized that I could take it a little bit further. I've been taking film production classes since I was a freshman at LaSalle, and I have been able to learn how to edit and make videos. So I started making videos about people in my life who really inspired me with their positive outlook, and I posted them on YouTube for my friends to see. And it was really, really cool to get to see how much something so small and so easy in the grand scheme of life really made a big difference in my community. And then I also started organizing some community service projects with my friends and my family. And we've been able to help a bunch of people. We were able to help the doctors working in the COVID-19 emergency unit at one of the hospitals here in Miami. We were also able to help a shelter for women who are victims of sexual abuse. And we were able to give them clothes and toys for their children. And they were actually able to go out with the clothes that we gave them and get job interviews in the middle of the pandemic, which is really difficult. So that was so amazing. And it's been so nice to be able to make a positive impact on the community when there's been so much struggle and so much heartbreak.
First, my family, because our parents and siblings are the people who are always with us. Their words give us strength to move forward, and they know what
Para mí,
we want,
en mi vida tengo
what
tres
we
pilares
intend is going to
fundamentales, que es
fulfill.
mi familia, mis amigos
Second,
y
my
la oración.
friends,
Mi familia,
because
¿por
we
qué? Porque son
always
las
need
personas que
those
siempre están
people
con
who
nosotros.
brighten our
Mi
lives,
papá, mi mamá,
with whom
mis
we can
hermanos
share our
nos dan palabras
secrets,
y nos dan
with
fortalezas
whom we
para
can
seguir
have
adelante
fun,
y saber que
and who
lo
add
que
color
nosotros
to our
queremos y nos
lives.
proponemos se va a cumplir.
And third, prayer,
Mis amigos, porque
because
siempre
we must
necesitamos
always have
esas
that
personas
special
que nos alegran
moment
la
with
vida,
God,
con quien contar nuestros
for He
secretos,
knows
con quien
everything
divertirnos.
about us,
Ellos nos dan
and through
color,
various
nos dan
ways
vida.
makes Himself
Y la
present
oración, porque
and
siempre
tells
tenemos que
us
tener ese
that
momento
He's
especial
with
con
us,
Dios.
that
Pues
we
Él
can
es el que sabe
continue,
todo de
and
nosotros
that we
y por
should
medio de
continue.
varios
So I
factores Él se
invite
hace
you
presente
to
y nos
live
dice que Él
with your
está,
family,
que sí podemos
live with your
y podemos
friends,
continuar.
and live
Así
in
que les
prayer,
invito a
so
que
that you
vivan
can
ustedes
always go
su
forward,
familia, vivan con
even
sus
in
amigos y
difficult
vivan la
times.
oración para poder seguir adelante y luchar en
The global pandemic hit every country and every person in a different way. And I was really lucky to be living in such a beautiful country like Australia, and one of the many things that helped me through the pandemic was being able to enjoy nature, which I never had time for before Corona hit. Another thing that got me through was definitely my faith. Being able to rely on online resources. We live in such a digital world, and just having that blessing of having our faith accessible to us 24/7. We may not have the chance to come to church or have the chance to receive the Eucharist, but through the digital world and through the digital age, we were able to access our faith through online masses, online prayers, and that was something that really got me through the pandemic. Also, living with my family, my big, beautiful family, also helped me through the pandemic, living with so many of them, not being alone, which so many people were, feeling that sense of loneliness. I was really lucky to have people living with me. So yeah, it hit all of us differently, but we've all got there, we've all coped and learned great new things along the way. So yeah.
Even if I have my faults, weaknesses, and negative thoughts, sometimes I don't let them dominate me and I try to overcome them. I focus on all that is good around me, the good people and the good things. I know that everything will never be perfect, and I have a goal to achieve in life, and I know that God knows what is best for me and keeps the best for me. And if I'm still alive today, it is by His love and by His grace, and I have faith in Him. And finally, I continue to have hope because I know that every day is new and I need to begin it with a new smile.
It is really true that we are social beings who rely and learn from each other. Indeed, cooperation among everyone in the community is very important in order for us to inspire one another and to help each other get through this. I hope that you, yes, you, I believe that you can do this, and I believe that God will always be with you to accompany and guide you as you move, adapt, and face the new reality of life. Stay home, stay safe, stay strong, keep the faith, and God bless.
I believe that the activities that we propose to the girls have stimulated them in a positive way, have helped them to reflect both on themselves and also with the relationships they have between themselves as well as other people on the outside, including their own boyfriends, and I think they equally help them to break the monotony and boredom characteristic of the lockdown period. Appreciated at different levels by all participants, they went on to propose activities themselves, which further stimulated us to think about specific proposals for them. In speaking to us, a young girl expressed her desire for the future to be part of the civil service because, first of all, she liked the proposals of the activity and saw in us not only a working relationship but also a relationship of friendship that went beyond the work itself, and they also recognized that we ourselves were there for them at their service proposing activities even if it was on Saturday and Sunday.
During pandemic, when life is uncertain for everyone, I was able to structure my own life on the words, "I'm with you always, to the end of the age." Everyday peace prayer has helped me shape myself spiritually. During lockdown, along with my companions, I kept the burning lamp of hope bright by volunteering at Auxilium Skills Academy in distribution of ration for 45,000 hungry people. I was totally involved in it. In the morning, I attend my online classes, and in the evening, I volunteer at the center. I'm so much thankful to God for giving me this opportunity to think about others even during COVID-19 pandemic. I became the keen provider of hope to thousands of youth in my locality. My message to young people: dear friends, I know we are caught up in a web of uncertainties, but Jesus assures us that I'm with you always. Believe in Him and you will see miracles. Thank you.
With this video, I would like to share with you my experience of how I spent the coronavirus period in a positive way. At first, I was bored and couldn't stand being locked up at home. I wanted to go out with my friends as usual. But then I took advantage of my free time to be with myself instead of always living outside of myself. It was only then that I began to discover new talents and tried to make them grow as gifts. For example, I tried to compose puzzle, to read books, to do beautiful things that I did not do before. I studied online and I'm following courses which would have been impossible to find time for before. On the other hand, being at home has brought me closer to my family and strengthened relationships between us in the sense that I haven't spent time with my parents for a long time because of university studies and work. Even when I had free time, I went out with friends. So during the virus time, we began to play together, watch movies, and tell each other about ourselves. I grew closer to my parents, and it was for the first time I saw them playing. I want to conclude my speech by saying that while the virus invaded the whole world and spiked fear in many, this, in addition to all the other problems that occurred here in Lebanon, I felt safe.
What gave me the strength to face the difficulties of COVID-19 was the thought of my mother and my brother. We were always together. My mother always took care of me, whether she had the means or not, and always tried to get what my brother and I needed. So, I feel the need to express my gratitude to her, trying to earn with my work and spending very little on myself so I can better contribute. I would like to say to all those who feel discouraged and desperate to continue to fight, to think about people in situations worse than their own. We see that we are more fortunate than they are. We must always find the strength to fight for the people we love. Thank you.
In lockdowns we all been through, we are locked up in our homes with our worries and our thoughts. And our biggest enemies was loneliness and overthinking. So the best weapon we can fight against them is hope. Hope is like our guardian angel that encourages us to be better, to believe in ourselves, our actions, and not regret anything. Just like Don Bosco says, being good doesn't mean not making mistakes, but constantly improving yourself.
This took place in a classroom. I remember everything that happened, and I even seem to see the student who spoke to me replay in my memory. In the first class of the academic year, I make plans and goals with the students. And in the last class, we evaluate what we have set ourselves to achieve, to share about everything that had happened. Since we were at home this year, we moved up to the evaluation of 2020, where each student went to the blackboard to write a word to define the year. Among the various words, there was one that touched me a lot. The student who wrote it turned to me and said that this year was incredible. I didn't expect to hear the word, so I asked him to tell me why the year was amazing. He smiled and said to me, "We have a vaccine, we will be vaccinated." I was deeply touched by his words because we always have the habit of criticizing everything, and there were many phrases like, "It was bad because I was at home," "This year was bad because I could not see my friends," "It was bad because I could not go out." And this student simply erased everything we said negative and marked the year 2020 with a positive fact of the vaccine. So that brought me hope of better days, the hope that nothing is as bad as we sometimes see it. On the contrary, in the worst of times, in the greatest of adversities, we need to look and see the situations with positive vision and discover the bright side of everything.
outros olhos e enxergar o lado positivo.